My wife declared, "I don't want kids with you. I'm getting my tubes tied." I said, "It's your choice." Then I divorced her and married her younger sister. When we announced our pregnancy at Christmas, she completely fell apart. I never expected my life to turn into something people would accuse me of making up for karma points. But here we are. I'm a 33M, the type of guy who plans everything. I'm not rigid or controlling. I just like knowing where I'm going. My finances, my job, my 5-year goals, even my vacations. I've had a direction for every phase of my life since I was 18. And for 9 years, I thought my wife, Emily 32F, wanted that same kind of future. We dated for 3 years, married for 6. On our second anniversary, we sat in a tiny diner, scribbled a life plan on a napkin, and tucked it into my wallet like a promise. Pay off her student loans. Save for a house. Buy the house. Build a family. 2 kids, maybe 3. A dog. Weekend hikes. Road trips. Christmas mornings with little feet running down the hallway. All of it. And we hit every milestone early. We'd paid off her loans a year ahead of schedule. We bought our first house this spring. I turned the smallest spare room into a nursery because I was excited, because we were finally at the threshold of the life we promised each other. I remember standing in that freshly painted room, telling her, "In a year or 2, this place won't be quiet anymore." She smiled, or I thought she did, because 3 months ago, while we were eating dinner, me talking about turning the office into a future playroom, she set her fork down and said the single sentence that detonated everything. "I'm not having kids, Mark. I already scheduled my tubal ligation for next month." No conversation. No softening. No warning. Just a verdict. I stared at her, trying to process how the woman who watched me assemble a crib, just to be ready someday, could suddenly treat the idea of family like it was something she'd never agreed to. My voice came out strangely calm. "Okay," I said. She blinked like she expected me to beg. "Yo, bargain. Something. It's your body," I said, taking another bite. "Your choice." The small victorious smirk that flashed on her face is something I will never forget. She launched into this monologue about wanting freedom, spontaneity, a life without restrictions, travel, hobbies, fun. Why raise kids when we could live? I nodded. I didn't feel angry yet. Just something emptying out inside me until there was nothing left. This wasn't a change of heart. This was her finally saying out loud a truth she'd clearly known for a long time. But she let me build that nursery. She let me dream out loud about our future children. She let me plan a life she never intended to live. That wasn't honesty. It was betrayal through silence. So the next morning, while she was at her Pilates class, I called a lawyer. I packed a bag. I moved half our savings, my half including an inheritance, into a separate account. I took one sentimental item, a wooden storage cabinet I built myself in my 20s, inspired by a hidden latch box my grandfather once made for me. That cabinet had a secret compartment where I planned to leave his old carving tools for my future kid one day. When she came home, sweaty and cheerful, she saw me sitting on the couch with a folder. "What's that?" She asked. "Divorce papers," I said. "You ended our plan, so I'm ending the marriage." Watching her expression collapse from smug certainty into shock would have hurt if I wasn't already numb. She screamed that I was insane. "You're divorcing me over a hypothetical child?" No, I was divorcing her because she pretended to want a life she never wanted. She let me build a dream, knowing she planned to destroy it. I moved out that day. And everything that happened after that was like watching a slow-motion explosion, one piece at a time. Update 1. It got worse before it got better. Emily's composure shattered fast. She tried demanding alimony. Her lawyer claimed she was emotionally devastated and unable to maintain her workload. Meanwhile, her Instagram showed her drinking cocktails on a rooftop bar, laughing at brunch, doing yoga retreats. That went nowhere. Then she decided she wanted my art cabinet. She had called it that clunky box for years. Suddenly, it was a priceless heirloom. She told her lawyer I was trying to steal a marital asset with family significance. My lawyer nearly laughed out loud when I produced photos of me building the thing in my apartment garage 2 years before I even met her. But the stress wasn't from the legal trouble. It was her family. Her parents, Alan and Marie, acted like I committed a crime. She made a decision for her body. Marie snapped over the phone. "You're punishing her for that?" "No," I said. "I'm accepting her decision and making mine." They didn't hear a word. The only person who did was her younger sister, Claire, 28F. Claire called me quietly, apologetically. She said she'd known Emily felt this way for over a year. She tried to tell her to talk to me. "I never thought she'd blindside you like that," she whispered. We started talking more, first about the divorce chaos, then about anything else, work, hobbies, movies we liked. She's a graphic designer, so she asked about the cabinet, the woodwork, the joinery. It was the first time someone had talked to me like a human instead of a villain. One day we grabbed coffee. Not a date. Just two people caught in the fallout of the same explosion, trying to breathe. She defended me, her family, when they pressured her to talk sense into me. That loyalty, quiet, steady, got to me. Eventually, Emily found out. She lost her mind. 30 angry texts, accusations of cheating, claims that I'd always wanted Claire instead. It was deranged. We shut it down, and I won the cabinet. That was the first victory in months. Update 2. For months after the divorce was finalized, the dust settled. Emily's alimony claim dissolved after her vacation photos contradicted her narrative. I bought a small condo and moved my cabinet into the living room. It looked right there, peaceful. Claire and I kept talking, kept seeing each other. Little things at first, coffee, dinner, a movie night that turned into her staying over. Nothing messy, nothing rushed. And then one day, without either of us planning it, it just became a relationship, a real one. 7 months later, we made it official. When her family found out, the explosion made the previous ones look like sparklers. Her parents disowned her, literally disowned her. Marie told her she was dead to them. Alan screamed that she was dancing on the grave of her sister's marriage. Claire cried for a week. I held her through it. I reminded her, over and over, that she didn't break anything. Emily did. Emily detonated the family. We were just living in the crater. Then Emily tried to sabotage Claire's career by sending an anonymous email full of lies to a major client. It backfired. The project manager was a divorced woman with a sharp bullshit detector. She forwarded the email to Claire and extended her contract out of sympathy. That moment strengthened Claire in a way nothing else could. It strengthened us too. 6 weeks later, we eloped on a quiet beach. Just the two of us and the witness. No noise, no judgment, just peace. We adopted a dog, bought a new place, painted a nursery together, not out of desperation, but hope. And then, with shaking hands and an open heart, Claire showed me a pregnancy test one morning. Positive. I cried. She cried. It felt like my life had broken apart just to reassemble itself into something better, quieter, truer. Final update. The Christmas reckoning. Claire's grandmother, the iron-willed matriarch, announced a mandatory family reconciliation on Christmas Eve. Attendance required. Claire hesitated. I told her we should go. "We have nothing to hide," I said. "We walk in there together." So we did. The room temperature dropped 20 degrees the moment we stepped inside. Her parents glared like we'd walked in coated in gasoline, holding matches. Emily was by the fireplace, acting like she owned the place. For an hour, we mingled with awkward relatives. Then the gift exchange began. Claire and I shared a look. It was time. We handed her parents a beautifully wrapped box. Marie opened it, clearly annoyed. Inside was a silver picture frame engraved with "Coming June 2026." And in the frame was the ultrasound photo. Silence. Her father's jaw literally fell open. Emily strutted over, curious, fake cheerful. "What's that? What did you get?" Then she saw it. I have never in my life witnessed a person mentally implode so fast. The anger, smugness, denial, everything in her face shattered like glass. You're pregnant? She whispered. Claire placed a hand on her belly and said softly, We're married, Em. And yes, we're having a baby. The scream that ripped out of Emily wasn't human. You stole my life, she shrieked. My husband, my family, my future. She couldn't even say the word baby. You waited for me to fail. You planned this. The room was frozen. I stepped between her and Claire. Not to fight, just to block the venom. No one stole anything from you, Emily. I said quietly. You burned your life down. You handed away everything you claimed to value. We didn't take your future. You threw it out, and we built something new from ashes. I turned to her parents. And you too disowned the wrong daughter. You sided with the liar, the deceiver. You cut off the one person who acted with integrity. Now the path to your grandchild is through the daughter you threw away. Marie's face crumpled. Alan looked sick. Emily was sobbing hysterically, her whole body shaking. We walked out, hand in hand. No drama. No more words. Just freedom. On the drive home, Claire whispered, I feel free. Later that night, we placed my grandfather's carving tools into the nursery cabinet's hidden compartment. The room was painted soft yellow. Warm. Hopeful. He would have loved you, I told her. She leaned against me, her hand over her belly. I think so, too. And that's the thing. I didn't end up with the life I planned years ago on a diner napkin. I ended up with something better. Something real. Something honest. Emily didn't just lose a husband. She lost a future she abandoned. And now she has to watch it unfold right beside her, year after year. That's not revenge. It's just consequences. And honestly, I can live with that.